I might be about to ruin your Christmas. Sorry, but the reality is those nativity plays in which your adorable children wear tinsel and angel wings bear little resemblance to what actually happened. Neither does your average Christmas card featuring a peaceful nativity scene. These are traditions, compilations of different accounts that reflect a later Christian piety. So what really happened at that so-called first Christmas? Firstly, the actual birthday of Jesus was not December the 25th. The date we celebrate was adopted by the Christian Church as the birthday of Christ in the 4th century. Prior to this period, different Christians celebrated Christmas on different dates. Contrary to popular belief that Christians simply adapted a pagan festival, historian Andrew McGowan argues the date had more to do with Jesus' crucifixion in the minds of ancient theologians. For them, linking Jesus' conception with his death 9 months prior to December the 25th was important for underscoring salvation. Only 2 of the 4 Gospels in the Bible discuss Jesus' birth. Luke recounts the story of the angel Gabriel appearing to Mary, the couple's journey to Bethlehem because of a census and the visit of the shepherds. It features Mary's famous song of praise, Magnificat, her visit to her cousin Elizabeth, her own reflection on the events, lots of angels and the famous inn with no room. Accu scholar Stephen Carlson writes that the word kataliuma, often translated inn, refers to guest quarters. Most likely, Joseph and Mary stayed with family, but the guest room was too small for childbirth, and hence Mary gave birth in the main room of the house where animal mangers could also be found. Hence Luke 2:7 could be translated, she gave birth to her firstborn son, she swaddled him and laid him in the feeding trough because there was no space for them in their guest room. Matthew's Gospel tells a similar story about Mary's pregnancy, but from a different perspective. This time, the angel appears to Joseph to tell him that his wife Mary is pregnant, but he must still marry her because it is part of God's plan. Where Luke has shepherds visit the baby, a symbol of Jesus' importance for ordinary folk, Matthew has magi, wise men, from the east bring Jesus royal gifts. The tradition of 3 comes from the mention of 3 gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Notably, the magi visit Jesus in a house, not an inn or stable, and their visit is as late as 2 years after the birth. Matthew 2:16 am records King Herod's orders to kill baby boys up to the age of 2 based on the report about Jesus' age from the Magi. This delay is why most Christian churches celebrate the visit of the Magi on Epiphany, or January the 6th. Notably absent from these biblical accounts is Mary riding a donkey and animals gathered around the baby Jesus. Animals begin to appear in nativity art in the 4th century AD, possibly because biblical commentators at the time used Isaiah 3 as part of their anti-Jewish polemic to claim that animals understood the significance of Jesus in a way that Jews did not. When Christians today gather around a crib or set up a nativity scene in their homes, they continue a tradition that began in the 12th century with Francis of Assisi.